Right, let's stick with the goalkeeper chat. And Manchester United haven't gone for the two-time Golden Glove winner, Emi Martinez, but they are bringing in Senna Lammens. Let's head to Daniel Kahn, who's at United for us. Dan, is this Lammens deal close?
Yeah, absolutely it is, Emma. I mean, he's been here in Manchester all afternoon undergoing his medical before he puts pen to paper to a 5-year contract. We brought you the news a bit earlier today that Manchester United had agreed a deal with Royal Antwerp, just over £18 million for Senna Lammens, the Belgian international. And you have to say, I mean, the initial approach United made just over a week and a half ago, they really followed up that interest to really execute that interest in particular, because we've been told throughout, really, that Manchester United have been exploring their options in that position. And you mentioned one of them there in Emiliano Martinez, but they decided to go for the young Lammens. I mean, I just heard Chris Boyd there talk about Donnarumma and the many years he has left to play. Well, I think that goes for Lammens at just 23 years old. He's just had one really full season being a first-choice #1 in the Belgian league. And clearly Manchester United feel he is the right person to really contend with the goalkeeping department of Andre Onana and Altay Bayindir. Not expecting this to go down to the wire. I think United will hopefully get this done well before the deadline, just waiting for that official confirmation, and we'll keep you posted on that. But in terms of Onana and Bayindir's future, no goalkeeper is expected to leave the club today, Emma, but what will be interesting is in the next week or so, we understand that if there is an offer for the likes of Onana or Bayindir, Manchester United will consider it, and you'd expect that they will consider their positions as well. When you think Onana came into the season as the #1, he's been dropped to the last 2 games with Bayindir coming in goal, but both goalkeepers have really failed to convince so far this season. But I think it's been an impactful deadline day, is probably the right word to use for Manchester United, because going into it, there were a lot of question marks over the departures they were trying to sort out. The likes of Anthony, he's on his way back to Real Betis on a permanent deal. Jadon Sancho, what was going to happen with him? Well, a deal was agreed a bit earlier today to send him on loan back to Aston Villa, just like we saw Marcus Rashford last season, with them covering 80% of his wages, and we're still waiting for official confirmation on the likes of Rasmus Højlund. And we saw earlier in the window Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford sorted with their respective deals as well. So for all of these conversations around the players not involved in Ruben Amorim's plans going forward, the question marks were, could the club sort out their futures? And other than Tyrell Malacia, it looks like they have done so, which I think in the boardrooms they'll be pretty happy. They've either got some good wages off the wage bill or some respectable fees back into the club. So look, Lammens looks like he will be coming into the club. I've not had any reason to doubt that. Just waiting official confirmation. As a 23-year-old, it will be expected to compete for that #1 jersey going into the season after the international break.
Dan, impactful.
To say it, you had to say it. I am a believer. I really am. I mean, what I find fascinating is the recruitment that Brighton do, the data-driven recruitment, how widespread their recruitment is, that they lose a player of the calibre of Moises Caicedo. They lined up Carlos Baleba as that replacement straight away, signed from Lille. Took a little bit of time to settle in at Brighton, but last season he was terrific. He's got the physicality to get around the pitch. He's exactly what everybody's talking about, what Manchester United need. Casemiro in the back end of his career. Last season, Christian Eriksen there again, back end of his career. They have got Manuel Ugarte, they have got Kobbie Mainoo as well, but it feels like a younger player who can get around the pitch in that defensive midfield area is what Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, is crying out in his system. And Jeff, you really, like, Bruno Fernandes is still the star man at United, despite the signings they've made. For me, if I see Carlos Baleba in that defensive midfield spot, that frees up Fernandes more to do what Manchester United need Bruno Fernandes to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think bringing him in would be exciting because it gives Fernandes a chance then to link up with all these new players that are coming in, and it just lets him be him. And I think it'd be a perfect fit. Because
we see him drop back, chase far, a lot. He does, doesn't he? Does almost like the dirty work in midfield, when you kind of want Bruno Fernandes to be that link, as you said, and the link with Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, and now Benjamin Sesko up front. You throw Carlos Baleba in the mix, I don't think I'll be the only one believing it will be the Manchester United fans believing that they can do something very, very special. But Matt, will they get him this window? Very unlikely. Brighton won't want to sell.
Yeah.
You mentioned the figure they're talking about. They want in excess of what Chelsea paid for Moises Caicedo. I believe they could get in excess of what Chelsea paid for Moises Caicedo. I rate this player that highly, and he's young. He's only 21 still.
And we should make it clear that Brighton have made it clear that he is absolutely not for sale. They want to keep hold of Carlos Baleba, and it sounds like if anyone wants him, they're going to have to spend big money. Another story we touched on there, Jeff, was Leeds looking at a number of striker options, including Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's a free agent at the moment, having left Everton. Do you think that could be a good fit for both the player and the club?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I was looking at the age he is now. He's younger than I had expected because he's been around so long. He's had a good career. Injuries obviously have hampered him a little bit, but if you can get him fit, he's got Premier League experience and he's still young. I think it'd be brilliant.